Hey guys, this is the post game for the Seahawks versus Panthers game. Three losses in a row. Magic number is now 10. We now do not have control over our destiny in the playoffs anymore. Best we can get is 10 wins at this point. And I gotta tell you, after losing to the Lions, which is embarrassing, and then the Seahawks again, how many times have we lost to the Seahawks? I've lost count. I have literally lost count since Ron took over. Oh, I will have to say this era is better than the John Fox era by a mile and a half. We at least have some structure. We have some halfway decent coaches. You know, I love North Turner. I like Ron when he's not being an idiot. And Eric honestly is not that terrible of a line coach, but he's not a defensive coordinator. He's a line coach. He's been there for 7 years, and he's just not cut out to be a defensive coordinator, in my opinion. And a lot of people are wanting him fired. Realistically, it's Captain Mutterland that needs to go. I've been saying this for 2 years now. For anybody that's been paying attention, Captain Mutterland is hot garbage in coverage. Hot garbage. He got burnt crispier than a roast duck. And then we decided to try to fix the problem by putting Corn Elder in there, who is not ready, who got burnt in training camp, by the way, by several of our wide receivers. He's just not fast enough to keep up with these big targets, these number one and number two guys. So we try to put him in there, and he gets burnt at least 3 times. I mean, you add that in with the tackling that's been very, very lackluster this year. I don't know what to tell you guys, man. Our defense is just. Oh, boy, oh boy. Like I said, the most wins we can get is 10, and even if we somehow manage to beat the Bucks and the Browns and split with the Saints and get a win over the Falcons, our fate is not our own in the playoffs. What will we do if we even got in to the playoffs? We would tank because our defense is like raw meat to anybody in the league that wants to challenge it. I, look at Russell. Look at what Russell Wilson did to it today. He made it look like Swiss cheese because we were so bad at tackling. And we couldn't cover anybody. Captain Wonderland looked absolutely lost. Like a lost puppy. Like, there was one play he started out in coverage, ran, like, pretty much jogged over to the left side of the field, and then tried to run back nowhere near where the play was being even executed. I mean, Captain, what are you doing? Do you have a brain at all? Are you smoking crack? Like, seriously. This guy needs to go. We're paying him $5 million to do this crap. I mean, I'm trying to keep it family friendly here, but at a certain point, Captain Matt, I gotta dog you out for that, dude. Dude, like, That was just a miserable day. And Captain hasn't been much better since we got him since back from Minnesota. He's been back to his old ways. He's taking plays off. He's lazy tackling. Every once in a while, he'll actually cover a guy. Every once in a while. There was one good play. Maybe. But we actually had pressure in Russell Wilson's face, so technically, I mean, I want to give him credit for that play, but honestly, it was an overthrow. This man is running on a 3-year contract with us for $5 million, and he's playing like hot garbage. And y'all want to blame the defensive coordinator for that? No, that's captain. That is 100% captain. His mistakes are on him. He knows these coverages. He knows what he's supposed to be doing. Whether that defensive coordinator calls the right play or not. So I've been saying it all year. When Dante goes down, we need a number 3 corner. We cannot fix it in house. We need to draft one. And I'm thinking middle of the draft, third, fourth round. That's where we got Bradbury and Worley from, but we ended up trading Worley. So that's where I'm thinking we might go again, because we had luck there. Our scouts are good, so I feel like we're gonna find the right corner. We just have to look in the right places. Um, that being said, again, we're gonna go position by position, and I have some final notes that I think people will want to hear, but they technically won't want to hear it at the same time. Um, well, I'm just gonna get. I'm just gonna say this right now. Let's just get it over with. Since we got everybody here watching, I'm gonna get this over with. I think we need a tank. Tank the season. We're looking at 10 wins tops, and that's if we beat the Bucks and the Browns without a defense. If we somehow manage to pull off a miracle and beat the Saints once, what does that get us? A possible wild card spot that's out of our control. We're looking at second seed, wild card. What what good is that going to do us? We get into the playoffs one game and we lose. We choke. I don't see how we go any further. You know, you got the Rams that are just destroying everybody. The Rams actually beat the Saints. So they're better than the Saints, technically. So you got both of them, which is probably going to be either the Eagles or Cowboys if Washington wins the division. So, you know, I just don't see it. I don't see it this year. And I hate to say that. I really, really do. I hate it more than you guys have to hear this, because it breaks my heart to say it. But 9-win teams don't do anything. They don't even get in. Unless by some miracle they get in. 10-win teams, their destiny is not their own. That's where we're sitting at. If we somehow get 10 wins. And that's a big if. Because we still got the Browns coming up. And you saw what they did to the Bengals today. So they come into our game putting up that many points. We're done. we're just outright done. We'll be taking a loss to them too. We can beat the Bucks. That's not the problem. Falcons are kind of tanking too a little bit, but I mean we might be able to take them if Matt Ryan doesn't shred our defense to like slush cheese. But yeah, how are we supposed to get anywhere beyond second wild card spot? That's where I'm at right now. I'm thinking it's time to tank. The coaches will never say that it's time to tank. They'll never admit it. They'll never let their teams actually tank. But they know it's the right thing to do. Like if you're if you know you're not going anywhere, like the 49ers or the Jets, for instance, maybe. Honestly, that Lions loss did us in. That was it. And the Seahawks game today just put the nails in the coffin for us. And I hate saying that. I really, really do. I know people are going to be like, oh, we should try anyway. We should try anyway. What does 9 and 7 get us? It gets us a lower draft pick. Well, technically, it gives us a higher draft pick considering how the draft works. But so I apologize for that line right there because that's what it should be. It should be the draft pick is higher if you get more wins. So we would be looking at like deeper and deeper into the the draft picks, and it would do us absolutely no good. Middle ground doesn't do us any good really either, but it's better than bottom third in rounds. It's much better than that because you're scraping the bottom of the barrel for whatever round you're doing. You're basically looking at the next round's top perspectives and trying to take them off of that round. So to to reach really, I don't see us getting any more than 9 wins at this point. I hate saying that. I really, really do. But I had to pull the thorn out quickly, you know? That's just the way this season has gone. You know? We have. Let's realistically look at it. Our corners are garbage beyond Bradbury and Dante, and Dante is hurt. So our safeties and tackling has just been garbage. Our front four has not been stopping the run against the Lions. We barely stopped it against the Seahawks. But I mean, the Seahawks are a wild card team. Think about that, guys. If we were to face the Saints or the Rams right now, they would shred our front four, playing like they do right now. Like Gurley, running backs like that would shred us right now. Outright. We would not be able to tackle him. And he would just run circles around our secondary. And I mean, you've got veteran quarterbacks in the playoff hunt right now that are winning divisions. You've got people with experience that are in. Yeah. Meanwhile, we're just getting older and older. We're not doing anything. We just keep barely making the playoffs. What what are we doing on this team? We just keep laying an egg. Every time we play the Seahawks, we lay an egg. It's like I've lost count. I've lost count of how many times we've lost to the Seahawks, including playoff games. That's including playoff games. And honestly, it's pissing me off as a Panthers fan. I'm trying to keep it family friendly, but it's pissing me off. We have no excuse to lose to the Lions. We have no excuse to lose to the Seahawks. And we have no excuse to lose to the freaking Browns. And the Browns are coming up. Man, if we don't get this team fired up and motivated in the near future, in the next 3 years, all these guys are going to retire and we're going to be left without a ring. We're going to be left with a bunch of tired, middle-aged draftees that came in through Marty and Gettleman. Is that really what we want? Think about that. Is that what we want as a franchise? Where is the fire? Where is the motivation? It's gone. I looked at this team and I said, this team just does not care. They don't care. We were sitting before this game with an 11 game top magic number, which means we controlled our own destiny in the wild card. And here I hear Ron Rivera on the radio before the game even starts. We lost the Lions game, but it didn't lose us any traction in the playoff race. Are you kidding me? Our magic number went down one game at least and put us in a really bad spot to where we are just putting ourselves in jeopardy. Now we lose 2 games that we're not supposed to lose. And I'm so freaking frustrated with this defense right now. I'm so frustrated with it. We have so many talented players in this defense, and we're not doing anything with them. It's just, you have no idea. If you've been here for the long haul as a Panthers fan, you know how frustrating this can be. You suffered through the John Fox years. Those were way worse than this. Way worse. You're talking about an offensive coordinator in the John Fox era that was just like, run, pass, third down, and fail. Run, fail. Run, fail. Every drive during the John Fox era. So it was way worse, trust me. When we went that one win season, that was our absolute breaking point. That's where we had to make changes and clean house. That's where we were all just like fed up. And I know most of y'all remember that if you've been around for that long. And I'm telling you, this team has so much potential. We don't need to clean house. We need to clean players. That's what we need to do. We need to provide motivation. That has to come from the leaders. That has to come from Luke. That has to come from Thomas Davis. That has to come from Cam Newton. It has to come from Christian McCaffrey, Greg Olsen. All of these guys have to motivate this team all the way through. The entire bench. And Ron's just sitting there like a loaf of bread, making dumb decisions on the sideline. It drives me absolutely mad. It does. Every game this year. And I mean, the frustration's gotten to the boiling point now, where we are sitting at a point where our future is not in our hands. It's not. Have you seen all of those teams on that wild card list that are hungry right now for a playoff spot? All they have to do is wait. And we are giving it to them. We're handing it to them on a silver freaking platter. Why? I'm just done with this season. I am. Like, this is ridiculous. Y'all don't even know how frustrated I am with certain players this year that have just cost us win after win after win that we could have gotten. How about the Redskins game? How about the lack of motivation in the Lions game? I mean, it's just. I know y'all know this frustration just as well as I do right now if you've been around this long. Because I will not sit through another John Fox era. I will not do it under Marty. I will not do it, Matt. And that's not saying Marty's not doing his part. The people on this team are not motivated. There's no fire. And oh god, I'll get off my soapbox and I'll go straight into the positions. I did not even want to do this live stream, guys. I did not. I'm just so frustrated. I did not want to do it, but I'm doing it for you guys. This game really made me face facts that this season is done. It's done. It's over. It's in the books, as far as I'm concerned. Because even if we make the playoffs, we're done. I'm looking at the rest of this schedule right now, and I'm just seeing a bunch of sadness. I'm seeing a bunch of sadness. We're going to get swept by the Saints. We could lose to the Falcons. We could lose to the Browns at this point, which is embarrassing, by the way. You're looking at a 3-win Browns team, which, I mean, I'll give you this. The Browns are playing a little bit over their heads. So they could easily be a 5-win team, maybe. You know, give or take a game or two. You know, because they should be in the playoff hunt. Absolutely. But you know, I'm not gonna just sit here and say, "Oh, we have a chance," when we don't. I'm not that kind of fan right now. I've never been that kind of fan, and I never will be that kind of fan. Like I want y'all to understand that because understanding that is one way to understand how our team should be run. And you know, if a coach says that he's going to tank a season, it basically says, "Oh, I have zero faith in this players I have. I have zero faith in the system and the uh, the coaches that I have in place," which I think is garbage. Because if you think about it, okay, think about it in terms of middle of the road teams like maybe the Ravens that are sitting in the middle of that pack every year in the draft order. You know, that are saying if I just had a tank season where I could take advantage of the system, get a bunch of players that I need in the draft, if you're smart about drafting and you get the right people in positions of need, then maybe you can make a run. But if any coach says, "I'm going to tank the season," you're immediately on the hot seat. And I think that's stupid. I think it's absolutely stupid because the system works like it's supposed to. You know, you get fresh players to the draft. What else are you supposed to do? Just sit there with an 8-8 every year? Like, I don't understand. But again, I'm getting on my soapbox, and I don't want to do that. I'm trying not to so bad. So I'm just gonna go into player positions today. Uh, let's get started with Cam Newton. A minus. You know his numbers look good. He did throw that one pass into triple coverage and get a pick. So I mean, overall pretty well, pretty good game. You know he found receivers. He had time to throw it, and he made his reads really well. So I'm pleased with that. Um, Always room for improvement, of course. You're never gonna have really a perfect game. So, and you're never gonna have a perfect rating for me. So A minus. Running back A minus. Christian McCaffrey just tore it up today. But of course, there's always room. You know. Um, so A minus for him. Tight end A minus. That's pretty much good grades for these guys. Greg Olson just did work. You know. O line B plus. They all look solid today. The offense looks solid. I had zero problem with the offense today. They found their connections. They found their chemistry. They look good. After a certain point, they did. We got into the red zone pretty much every drive, except for the ones that we went three and out and had to punt. So I have to say, we look good. We moved the chains. But I want to say this in terms of the offense and Ron Rivera before I move on to the defense. I was not pleased, and I said this at halftime. I'm not pleased with our play call choice on the first two drives once we got in the red zone in third and short. I'm not pleased. Why are we running it to the right when there's a sea of Seahawks sitting right there? There's no holes. None. Why are we not play actioning that? See, it's stupid stuff like that it took us forever to learn that we were screwing it up. And then once we finally did, it was like what 13-10 at halftime, something like that. Shoot. Because we finally put a touchdown on the board, and I was just going, hallelujah, the heavens have opened up. We finally found a wide receiver to throw to. That was just. We finally started using our brains. But by then, Seattle's already got a foothold on offense. And if you know Seattle's adjustments and their history of making adjustments at halftime, you know we're in for a bad second half if we don't adjust too. And our defense did not adjust. Yet again, that's 3 weeks in a row our defense did not adjust. And I'll give you this. The Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger is hard to adjust to. He is really hard to adjust to. But you go into a Lions game where Stafford is playing average and you can't adjust to that. You go into a Seattle game where Russell Wilson is playing average and you cannot adjust to that. Eric Washington, what the heck, man? And then the fact that we went for it on fourth and was it two or three and couldn't make it on a run play. What was it, an ISO to the right? I know the third down run was Cam. He hesitated before he ran it. I don't even know what that play was supposed to be. It might have actually been like a run pass option or something. But here you have fourth and two, and you're running it with McCaffrey on a brick wall defense where you've tried and failed that before. Ron, what are you thinking? Kick the doggone ball. It's not brain surgery, dude. My God. If you had kicked those points, we would have three on the board. We would win. Or at least tie and go into overtime. It would have changed the entire course of the game in the correct way. But stupid mistakes like that, riverboating when you're not supposed to riverboat, challenging when you're not supposed to challenge, screws us. Ron, I'm trying so hard not to get pissed off at Ron, but come on, man. There's just points where ignorance turns into stupidity. And those certain plays were just stupidity. And I'm issuing tough love because these guys need it. This is tough love corner right here after this Seahawks game. I don't like doing this. I never do. But these guys need it. So very desperately. Because they have zero motivation. They have zero fire. Some of these players just don't even look like they care on tackles. And that's evidenced by the corners. And I'll give Corneldo a break. He's been in the system for a few years. He's a Gettleman pick, you know. And again, as I mentioned before, he did get burned in training camp, so he's not ready. We have no number 3 man. Captain is supposed to be our number 3 man. And Captain can't cover the blind side of a barn. He cannot cover the blind side of a barn, folks. This game was a human highlight reel of him not being able to do so. So, corners get a D. Even Bradbury took some plays off today and played like garbage. And that's not like him. When the chemistry is off for certain positions, it affects the entire defense. It's a chain reaction. It's a domino effect. I've been saying this all year long, and people just don't pick up on it because they don't understand it. When one position is off, even by a little bit, everybody has to pick up and cover the slack of that position. Say it's cornerback in our specific situation now. Our linebackers, Luke and Thomas Davis, have to cover those corners. They have to do the job of a corner. That's not right. When we have a rushing attack hitting our front four that's not stopping the run, we should be able to rely on the front four to do their job correctly so Luke can focus on any other position that needs help. You're killing me, guys. Like, if we don't get our tackling under control in the next 2 years, I might as well jump on board with the people that are saying that we need fresh players because this is ridiculous. And I don't want to do that. I really don't because we have the talent right here, right now, to do the job. And we're not doing it correctly. Like, if you need a new defensive coordinator to tell you how to tackle when you're in the system for 7-8 years, what are you still doing in the system? That's not how this team is run, bro. Like, it drives me crazy when I see lazy tackling, when I see lazy coverage. That's not who we are. Okay, granted, if the defensive coordinator is legitimately calling the wrong coverages and Luke is adjusting to the wrong coverages, Thomas Davis is adjusting to the wrong coverages, or he calls the wrong plays, fine. I can see people being out of position. But if the play call is correct and you're abandoning that position and abandoning your assignment and just running around, jogging around on the field like an idiot, captain, everybody has to cover for your butt. $5 million. Give me a freaking break. For that? We could hire... Okay. Lord help me. We could find at least 2 corners off the free agent list for $5 million that could tackle just as well as Captain can in our system after about 2 games. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not saying it solves our problem. I'm saying we need to draft a number 3 corner. Get rid of Captain. After his contract runs out, he's gone. I'd rather see him traded. If it was my team, I'd trade him. He's still worth something. if a if not a late round draft pick or something. But you know, just get something for him. Don't just cut him for five, however much money it saves us. As long as it doesn't cause us cap penalties. But yeah, D in corner, absolutely. The pass rush was better. That's a B minus. D line B minus. We got pressure on them, but that's an average line. So that's why it's a B minus. If it was an above average line, offensive line, I would definitely bump that up to a B plus. But seeing as how it's an average line, Seahawks are an average team, average offense, besides Russell Wilson and a couple of other really good Seattle wide receivers. That's definitely a B minus for me because of that. Uh, Strong safety. I'll give Mike Adams a break because he had a broken wrist. I'll give him I'll give him his his proper break there because he was playing with a hurt wrist the entire game and still made some tackles, and I'm proud of him. But that's why it's a B minus. Eric Reed missed a couple of tackles. He was hurt too, so I'm getting him a break, B minus as well. Um, but coverage wise, that's why they're getting the B minus. Coverage wise. Linebacker B plus. Linebackers had to go all over the field and try to cover everybody. Shaq had to cover the corners. They were doing their part, more than their part, really. Matter of fact, I might even bump that up to an A minus. Because Luke rarely ever misses tackles. Rarely ever. If you see him miss tackles, it's usually late game, and it's because he's tired because he's having to cover everybody else's position that's not doing their job correctly. Same with Thomas Davis. These guys are tired. They're tired after having to do everybody else's work on the secondary. Because our secondary is hot garbage, and everybody in the league knows it. So, special teams, here we go. All right, special teams. Finally, we're getting to Gano. And because Bird was hurt, Samuel had to come in for punt returns and kick returns, which he did fine. And we even saw DJ Moore back there for a little bit. But Gano, that missed field goal, man. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. Honestly, we would have had those 3 points had we kicked it in the first quarter, but that's besides the point. The fact that he missed that game winner. Ouch. We would have had those insurance 3 points in the first quarter, man. That's what stupidity and ignorance gets you when you riverboat when you're not supposed to. We learned absolutely nothing from the Lions game. Nothing. Not a thing. Zitch, zill, zero. We kept doing the same stupid crap. And the challenge cost us a timeout. Would you look at that? So now we're sitting with 2 timeouts. And then guess who doesn't understand the offensive line signals? Trey Turner, yet again. So Cam has to call our second timeout. So guess what? We're left with 1 timeout with 7 minutes left in the first half. You guys, we can't keep shooting ourselves in the foot like this. That's what's really pissing me off is we just keep shooting ourselves in the foot. We're better than this. We are smarter than this. All this talent. And we're just so underachieving what we should be doing. Underachieving is the right word, and Jared Phillips pointed that out a long time ago. He's a good friend of mine. That's also a Panthers fan, and he's been in this chat several times. So I felt the need to give him the credit for that. But he used the exact correct word every week. He said, screw this underachieving defense. Except he used a lot more colorful words. And I agree with him. I 100% agree. Because I find myself saying that every week myself, actually. And I hate it. I don't. I did not want to put that on the VOD, but I tell you what. I did not want to put that on the stream. But he's right. We are underachieving. So, I don't even know what else to say about this game, man. I don't. Uh, I did write down a note about this game. Regarding Chris Clark, and you know I've been harping on this guy for God knows how long this year since we picked him up. But he commits a holding penalty every game. He allows a pass rush at least every game, if not a sack, every single game. So this game is no different. Holding call that erased a long Christian McCaffrey run. Trey Flowers is not that tough of a pass rusher anymore. Let's take a look at Flowers. This guy's been around since San Diego. Norv Turner coached him back in the day. Norv Turner. If this is the same Flowers I'm thinking of at corner, and I think it is, then this guy's ageless. He's been there for forever. This guy's not a threat. And Clark, you actually have to hold this guy to keep him. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm just. This season is done. It's in the trash, as far as I'm concerned. And I hate saying that. I hate it more than life itself. But this season is done. It's burnt crispy. We beat ourselves. Just like we did in 16. Just like we did in 14. The curse is still on. We're still not going to have winning seasons. And I hate saying that too. Well, the back-to-back winning season curse might be broken this year. It might be. I don't want it to be, though. Not this year. We need to tank. Period. We need to tank. Coaches will never say it. Management will never say it. But they know. You need to tank to get better. That's what this team needs. You get right down to it. That's what we need. I can already tell you what positions I would draft. Corner, wide receiver, safety, probably a left tackle, maybe some more linemen on the offensive line. Definitely a defensive tackle, since Poe has decided to not have a good year. Definitely a corner because Captain is garbage. But I mean, And there's still those people that think we need a new defensive coordinator too, which today did not, today kind of added fuel to the fire as far as that goes. As the old saying goes, it kind of added to their plight of trying to get a new defense coordinator, and I don't like the fact that that happened. You know, you expect Stafford to come back with 14 points or whatever. You expect Ben Roethlisberger to shred a defense. That's not uncommon. No matter how good our secondary is, realistically, Ben Roethlisberger will find a way to shred it. That's what veteran quarterbacks that have been in the league do. Russell Wilson is dangerous too, but not as much as he used to be. We can still figure him out. So that was our test right there. You want to fix the secondary? Russell Wilson was the test. We failed. What did we learn? Absolute nothing. And as long as we continue to learn nothing, nothing will get changed. Execution. Tackling. Pass rush. Coverage. And passion are the 5 things we need to make this defense work. And if we don't have all 5, why are we even on the field? Why are we even trying for the rest of the season? We're not. We don't have any of those 5. Not even one of those 5. Even one of those 5 would propel us into a wild card hunt position. But no, we don't even have one of those things. And we lost to the Lions and we lost to the Seahawks because of that. So if people want to blame and throw fingers at people, that's the 5 things you want to blame. Because those are the 5 things we don't have. We have the players, we have the talent, we have the skill, we have the knowledge. Why are we not using it correctly? That's what we need to find out. And when I spoke about motivation last week, when I spoke about motivation, guys, I didn't mean let's drive down the field and fail to score twice, going for it with a running play with Christian McCaffrey on 4th and 3. Meanwhile, our defense stands up and actually does something. Our defense stood up and they did something after our offense came up short. Is this a teeter-totter team or what? Like, once we fix our offense, our defense goes to heck. Once we fix our defense, our offense goes to heck. The only time we've ever been balanced enough to do anything was 2015. That's the only time besides that Super Bowl run in 05. Name one year where we've actually been balanced enough to do anything. Make a run. Name one year. Nobody can. Besides those 2. It doesn't exist. So, I think, those are the positions we need to focus on. Defensive end included in that list for the draft. And I think it's time to tank the season and go into off-season mode. But I know Panthers fans will not want to hear that. I don't want to say it, but somebody has to. All right, guys. I'll see you guys for the pregame for the Bucks game. When is that? Let me see. December 2nd. So expect the pregame stream for the Bucks game at 12:50, roughly Eastern time. Until then, we're gonna fix this team. We're gonna fix this team, and it starts with motivation. It starts with, do we want the Lombardi? If we do, we have to start playing like it. That's all there is to it. And we're going to put all our eggs in one basket. That's not going to get us a Lombardi. Period. But we'll get it fixed. It'll take years, possibly. It will take time. It'll take a ton of patience. We'll go through some frustrating years. We'll go through some successful years. We'll go through some mediocre years. But we're going to fix this team together. Management is listening. Speak your mind. Be positive, speak your mind. They won't listen to negative stuff. They will listen to tough love, and they will listen to suggestions. Speak your mind. Don't put out stupid things, but speak your mind. If you have rational and good moves that you think can benefit this team going into this offseason, speak your mind. I want to hear your opinions in the comments below, on social media, on Twitter, wherever. Speak your mind. My ears are open, my eyes are open, and if I like your cause, I will agree. I'll side with you if you've got rational reasons and good thinking behind it. Um, because the main goal is the betterment of this team. So, it's not to be, oh, let's blame this person, let's blame this person, let's fire this person, let's fire that person. No, if you got legitimately good reasons, speak your mind. And people have been in this franchise. They have been. I've been reading the comments. I've been seeing everything. The main goal is fixing this franchise. And we can't do it without the fans' help. We can't do it without positivity, tough love, and smart thinking. So, with that in mind, I'm going to call this a stream right here. And I'm going to start looking at some scouting options for us. Because I feel like that's where we need to go now, is scouting for the draft. But if you guys have scouting suggestions, any players in college that you would like to see us draft, please leave them in the comments below. I will check them out. Any player you want, I'll look them up. I will find time to look them up this week. And I will get back to you. We're going to find the right players to fix this team. And hopefully next year will be better. I'm not counting on it. I haven't seen the schedule for next year. I haven't seen what we're doing with, until the end of the offseason and preseason and training camp. I don't know what we'll be doing with next year. But at this point, I'm thinking offseason mode. Someone has to say it. And unfortunately, it's got to be me. as one of those people. So, man, I hate doing it. I do. I think we try to retain as many of these players as we can, and I like the idea of re-signing Eric Reed. You know, he hasn't caused any distractions, so I like the idea of re-signing him. But he's got to get better at tackling, and he will. Under our system, he needs to stop being lazy with his tackles because we all know he can. We all know he can tackle. He wouldn't be one of the best safeties in the league if he couldn't tackle. You know, and hopefully we'll have Dante fully healthy. We'll have Bradbury fully healthy, and we'll have a number three corner. That's the goal. Possibly even a number four if we get lucky in the third and fourth round of the draft. Boy, that would be magical. But I'm not counting on that because Captain Wonderland is still there. Right. So, you know, the majority of these players I would keep. You know, I see 6/7 of this defense, and I'm just saying, look at the potential that we could be doing things with. You know, I don't feel like we need fresh meat yet. These guys are working hard. You know, when they have the motivation, they work hard. Luke Kuechly motivates at least half that defense by himself. Let's be real here. Thomas Davis, before he even stepped onto this field, was motivating this team. Just when he even came into the locker room and started talking to these guys. You want to tell me what a leader is on this team? Those two are leaders. And what we need is leaders. We don't need stupid mistakes. We don't need dumb penalties. We don't need players whiffing on tackles. We don't need players like Captain Munnerlyn running around the field when they're not even supposed to be near where they're running to. You know, and they're supposed to be covering somebody. Like, we need leaders. I'm asking Ron and this entire staff to step up. Particularly Ron. Norv is fine. Norv's out of the firing range. Completely out of the firing range. He's fine. I have zero problems with Norv. I love that man. I love his offense and I love that man. And how he runs things. If there was a way to have him temporarily take over for a few weeks, I would gladly do it. Because that's what we need. We need a refreshing look at leadership on this team. You know, the vets are saying, oh, well, you know, this is, we have the potential to do blah, 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 blah. You know, I love Greg Olson's outlook on this. I do. But when it translates out on the field, easier said than done, right? And that's what I feel like this team has been the entire year. Easier said than done. You look at the schedule, easier said than done to get 12 wins at the beginning of the year. You look at our goals, easier said than done. How about we change the status quo? How about we heal this team? How about we use leadership? How about we suggest things that are helpful? And we fix this team with the 5 things that it needs most. So, with that, I will leave you with those thoughts. If you're interested in my Twitter and Instagram, it is Shadow Warrior 645. Again, that's Shadow Warrior with 1W 645. If you want to see my gaming channel on Facebook, it's Corey McDaniel, Corey McDaniel, and it'll be the profile picture of the Chicago Cubs World Series sign. Thank you guys so much. Take it easy. I stream basically every day. Uh, we're gonna heal this team, man. We're gonna heal this team one way or another, through tough love or through position changes, whatever we got to do. I will see you guys next week for the Tampa Bay stream, pregame stream. I love you guys so much in this uh, YouTube channel. You guys make this what it is. You know, thank you for all the subscriptions. I love you guys. I love you guys for that. I love all the likes. I love all the comments. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, man. Again, I didn't expect this channel to even blow up halfway as well as it did, but it did. So, this was kind of a side project for me. So, thank you guys. I'm doing it for you. So that I can let you guys know what my thoughts are on things, uh, my opinions, how I think we're gonna do, how this team is, what we do, you know, yada yada. So you get the idea. But for those new to this channel, please leave a like, and if you like the content, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell for future live streams. Um, I would be doing off-season live streams as well, instead of videos. So I'm gonna try to uh, do regular videos, but I don't think it'll work out because of technical difficulties. But we'll see. We'll see. Um, but thank you guys so very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Keep pounding.